Brain Candy. Oh, it's 7-Eleven.
Oh, that's fun. Mm-hmm. Did you hear? Okay, this is going to be just like we're starting right now. Welcome to the Brain Candy Podcast.
Welcome.
Yep, there you go. 7-Eleven. Did you hear all those things when we were growing up that said, like, if you go to 7-Eleven on 7-Eleven, then you get, like, a free Slurpee?
A free Slurpee.
That? I always thought that was, like, folklore. I don't know.
I think it might be true.
See, this is going to be the thing. It's like, I'm going to believe all the other crazy phony baloney stuff out there, all the urban legends. This is where you're like, but this is where I'm like, I'm gonna need to see proof. That nobody's handing out that. Like, I heard that they give you a dozen donuts. No, maybe it's not even a dozen. It's probably like a donut.
I think you get a
Krispy
donut.
Kreme on your. Oh, you knew what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are not urban legends.
I think it's true.
Okay.
Well, and if it's not, 7-Eleven is missing a great marketing opportunity.
We're a little bit early, but what if it were episode 7-Eleven on 7-Eleven? Then I went to 7-Eleven and I told them, hey, it's episode 7-Eleven. And they were like, you could have 711 of these Slurpees. And I was like, I've actually never really had one.
At least it is 5-11. So that's kind of cool.
Oh,
7-Eleven comes
cool.
out of 5-11.
Yeah, which is like 511 is like the info. No, that's 411. 511 is what you dial on the phone if you need to know if there are any underlying power lines or something like that. I think so.
That sounds like a folklore.
Like, yeah, like dial 511 on your phone. I bet. I'm going to look it up right now.
Call it right now. See if there's any phone lines down.
Should I call it right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Because it's not real. There's no
Susie!
one is answering that call.
Yes, 511. Speaker.
Let's hear.
Welcome to the Colorado 511 Traveler Information System.
The Colorado Traveler Information System. There you go. And I bet there's somebody else who's like, no, 311 is where...
Yeah, I don't even know who's right, me or you.
411 is for, like, information. 511 is for, like, I guess, traveler information. In California, I swear it was like, before you dig, dial this number and, like, find out if there are any, like, underground power lines or something like that.
That's a handy thing.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, they have these signs places. Do people not read the signs in their neighborhoods? These signs are everywhere.
Maybe it's just in California.
Yeah, it might be. It might be a California thing. I don't know. But
anyway,
hey, guess what? You can call 511 in Colorado, and it is a traveler information line.
I
could have used that in Moab, and then what if they were like, oh, there's a campsite like right down the street?
I don't. Do you think that's what they offer?
I have no clue. I can call them back.
Campsites? Yeah.
But we have a podcast to record, Susie.
Okay, how are you? What's new? What are you doing? How are you?
I'm good. Just like fine. I'm just like regular.
Over there.
I mean, yeah. You know what? I may have come to that place. Here's what grief does to you.
Oh man.
I mean, I'm good now. I'm good. Yeah. We're like working through it. You know, it's like the feelings.
Yeah, but you've learned something from it. I like this. I
run away from my feelings by doing other things. And like, I was more productive in and still am. I'm very productive. I got my freaking calendar hung. Hello. If you are in our book club or doc club or join us for our live Q&A.
Or if you listen to things we got wrong, because we talked about your white whale is your whiteboard.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I have hung the calendar.
Complete.
It is complete.
That's exciting.
And so I've checked so many things. I got all cut up on my notes, which if you are a therapist, you know that is like finishing like the life. Like you never catch the rabbit
this
never
is why
catches
people
the carrot
go
or whatever.
postal, because the mail never stops. I mean,
it never stops. Totally.
Right.
Yes. And that's a really funny way to put
you're
it.
never done.
Yeah. So I was like, I caught up on all those. So I get very productive. And I think I may have come to that place in my life where, and I have a few phone calls I need to make and things like that. But I don't have any like big looming things.
I love this.
To take care of. And I'm like, okay, what? You know when people say, oh, I just have to get to here. I just have to get to here. I just have to get. And
you're not chasing that.
Without having a senior dog too, which I didn't realize was taking up a lot of my like and which is fine. I love it. It's like my joy. I'm giving back to what she gave me. I'm like, oh my God, I think like I can do hobby stuff, like stuff like I want to. I might do. I'm feeling like I might be crafty.
Oh, that's great. Because I remember how I was like, Sarah, how come you never craft anymore?
Because there's no time.
Yeah, you were booked solid for a minute.
I was. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, like what you're describing sort of is that you don't have as many things that you're maybe putting off too. Mm-hmm. And I would love to know if anybody out there has any tips. This is something I've struggled with as a mom, is trying to teach a child why procrastination is for the birds. It's a very hard thing to teach, that like you'll be glad you got it done.
Right.
Like it's better to just get it over with.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, I think ADHD people especially kind of like, and Adam claims that the deadline, when you push it up to the deadline, then you get that boost of whatever chemical.
The anxiety in a way helps. The motivation helps.
Yeah.
So here's my therapy tricks for that. Okay. 2 things. One is like more ADHD specific, and I think has helped me and might help him. But first, I'll say the thing that helps everybody.
Yes.
Which is, if you focus on the failure, like what you don't want to do, doing the actual thing, which is like what he hears when you say that, when he's like, go fold your laundry. He focuses on folding the laundry. Mm-hmm. And nobody wants to do that. It's uncomfortable, and your like body is designed and mind is designed to like avoid things that are uncomfortable and that you don't want to do. If you instead focus and on what will happen, like the motivation for why you would fold the laundry or why you would do anything.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen
when you're done?
Yeah. What's going to happen when you're done doing the laundry? Well, I'm not going to have to listen to you talk to me about it anymore. I'm going to have like clean clothes. Like you have to spend time focusing on that kind of stuff. I'm going to have the freedom to go play without you yelling at me to do this. And and of course, when we're adults, it's like easier. Like we can do these things.
You just wish you could convince them that you're right, you know.
Right. And the way that is the ADHD thing specific that has helped me so much is timing things that I don't want to do.
Oh, okay. That's a good tip.
In my mind, when you say fold the laundry, I'm like, that will take me an hour. I'll never stop folding the laundry. It's awful. And I'm saying this as a full-grown adult woman who has to fold many loads of laundry. I think that every time. Oh, I currently have one in the dryer. And for some reason, I was able to fold Eli's, but not mine, because I'm like, oh, that'll take forever. When I started timing myself things that I didn't want to do, I realized that those things only actually take about 30 seconds or like how long does it take to make the bed, to wash the dishes?
What I'm saying.
But we have no concept of time. We only have forever and no time at all. So if this is going to take a million years.
Zero or eternity.
I'll be done with this in 2 seconds. Listen, let me run. And it's amazing because the things we want to do in our mind, 2 seconds. Let me just run in here. It'll take me 2 seconds. Let me just finish this one drawing. It'll take me 2 seconds. It's a time problem. So set a timer and actually make a bet with him. That would be fun. Be like, how long do you think it takes to do this? Mm-hmm. If it takes longer than this, maybe make something up. Be like,
this is kind of what Jane McGonigal says, is like, if you gamify in a good way, it's helpful.
This is super helpful.
Yeah. I'll tell you what else is helpful, and that is some dad grass.
This is always helpful.
That makes tasks go a lot easier.
Now, highs and lows. I found I was reorganizing a whole bunch of stuff in Eli's house / my house and found a box of dad grass that I didn't even know I had, that was stuck like way behind, like if you're somebody who maybe has this area where you hide these kind of things in your home, which you don't even need to hide because like who cares? It was like underneath something, and I found the box, and then I was like, this is going to be perfect for camping. And then I left it at home.
Oh, teaser.
I know. So I have that to look forward. But it's fine because my camping trip didn't end up being the camping trip I wanted it to be. So
That's
I'm just going to get
why,
a do-over. And now I'm going to have a Dadgrass do-over because, whoa, found some.
Right. And it would have changed everything if you had brought it because Dadgrass is so much fun. It is like an old-fashioned toke where you get a little bit of THC, but mostly just takes the edge off kind of deal with the old CBD routine.
It feels like summertime.
It does. And like, it's concert season, it's camping season, as she said. And like, wouldn't this be the great addition to your summer festivities?
You're telling me.
Yes. You're telling me. They're 100% organic pre-rolled joints. They also have, tincture and all that jazz. And you'll enjoy the cannabis while keeping a clear head. None of this lunacy where you're like, get me off this ride. Nothing like that. It's delivered to all 50 states. All Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. and TSA approved. Pack that in your go bag.
I mean, I was doing that anyway. Just hoping.
Who isn't, right? Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/braincandy. Go to dadgrass.com/braincandy for 20% off your order. That's dadgrass.com/braincandy. Sarah, I wish there was a mugshot of you. Like if you, one of those times.
No!
No, but just because it would be so cute.
Why do you wish this? Why would
it would be cute. It would just be so cute.
I'll just make one. It would be like...
Yeah. Photoshop
guilty of being a silly goose.
A silly goose. Well, because that is the fear, right? When we go on reality TV, we only make the news if we die tragically or get arrested.
Right.
And so, like, we're always living in fear of this
what's the gal got to
mugshot.
do? Right. Every now and then they'll put out a list of the 25 best females of the show. And Susie and we are always, like, dancing between 5th and 6th. It's like, Susie's 5th in here. Number 5. I'm number 6. I'm number 6. She's number 5.
We're always right next to each other.
Always.
It's great.
I said that same thing, but yeah, always. I don't know if they think. I think that says a lot about like we're balanced, and it's like probably what brain candy is. And then so it's not really like you're bringing all the brain and I'm bringing all the candy. It's really more like sometimes you bring brain and sometimes you bring candy, and vice versa. And so it's like the same on the list.
Well, I like to think of it really as like I'm old school and you're more of like newer, because I passed the torch.
Okay.
Like Ruins was our only overlap. And that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yes. Somebody had to do crossword puzzles.
Yeah, right. I was like, I'm tired. And you're like, I got this, Suze.
I got this. Kazoo. I'll never forget. That was the word.
First eBay sale was a broken kazoo. I learned that from Sarah and a crossword puzzle.
Yeah. 5-letter word for...
Okay, Adam wants to know when I'm going to wrap it up, because Sarah and I were like yapping. We're not late.
Sorry.
No, we were just there.
We just started.
No, it's not that. It's just that we were. They have my family just hears us talking, and so there's no sense of like, are they recording or are they not recording?
Right. And like we do a lot of chit chatting before.
Yeah, there was chit chat. Okay.
Yeah.
First up, I want to talk about...
Yeah, based on his clock, if he started timing us when we started talking, we should be wrapping up.
Yeah, he's like, just checking, when you're going to be done. I'm like, like, give me a minute. Okay.
A minute.
You know what? I don't know why. Oh, yes, I do. There's a documentary coming out about Michael J. Fox called Still, which I can't wait to watch that when it does come out.
I saw a preview of this... of all places, in the movie theater.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What did it look like?
I think it was for the movie The Freemans or something. The
Woody Allen. The Steven Spielberg.
Maybe. That just is coming to my mind. Fablemans. Freeman, what am I saying? Yeah. Anyways, yes.
Get that right?
No, you're right. You're right. Okay. Please.
No, but I'm like, did I translate her completely wrong movie title?
No, you were correct.
And then say Woody Allen. Then we went to Steven Spielberg.
No. Susie, we can't lose you too. You're the one who has to know these things.
Okay.
No,
anyway,
you're correct. You're correct. Yes. Back to
the Michael J. Fox documentary looks really good, and he is a fascinating character. And it sort of reminded me of like the Brooke Shields doc, which we chose for this month's documentary club, because he was on top of the world at a time when there weren't a lot of celebrities. Like there are now, just a million people that are kind of famous. And back then there was only like 10.
He almost, if he reminds me of anyone, it was Zac Efron in his younger days.
Oh yeah, on High School Musical.
If like he, and there were like no other male actors in that genre of.
Yeah, because he was the star of Family Ties. Then he had Back to the Future, which was just like...
Wait, what about Teen Wolf?
And Teen Wolf and Doc Hollywood. Like, there were just so many at the same time. And he had the #1 TV show. And it was just like, he was so cute. And like, everyone loved him. He was like America's Sweetheart, but a boy version, you know?
Yeah.
And then when he was diagnosed, which was like so long ago, he had early onset Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And so I find him fascinating because he's so positive. Mm-hmm. And we've watched as his disease has like accelerated and increased in symptoms. And even though like now he's saying like, I'm not going to lie, it's really tough. And he's describing what it's like. And he still stays so optimistic and positive, and I am inspired by that because he is not a woe is me kind of guy.
Yeah,
that's
what
awesome.
do you think makes that?
That is what I would love to know, because I'm sure some of it is, you know, who you are, like personality wise, but then I think there is an element of choice, free will to that.
For sure, I think so too.
And I guess it just comes down to perspective of like, sure, you could focus on all this bad stuff, or you could say like, look at all that I have. I have money thanks to my work, and I have this wonderful wife and kids, and I mean, he is lucky.
It seems like a practice in gratitude.
That is what he says. That is what he says.
That is the only thing I can think that could really...
He says... This is his quote. Optimism is sustainable when you keep coming back to gratitude, and what follows from that is acceptance. Okay, but easier said than done. Wow.
That is so much easier said than done. And the annoying part is the only way to believe that for even a fraction of a second is to live it and practice it. And it's not an immediate return on your investment.
And you're never done. You got to choose it every damn day.
I am laughing because it is so daily, and like the reality of it, and like we all do it, and like people like him are a really, really good example of...
No doubt about it. I'm really impressed with him. But a couple things struck me. First was that like... I was looking at his Wikipedia. This was shocking to me that I never knew this. That he did I think it was a movie or a TV show. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Before he really became really famous, where it's called Leo and Me. And 4 members of the cast and crew developed early onset Parkinson's. And I never knew that Parkinson's was partially environmental. It's not just like your genes.
My
Isn't that
God.
Crazy?
I did not know that either. And
didn't you think of it as like just a genetic... I never knew there was like a... something you can come in contact with can trigger it.
Oh my God. Well, to me, that's an open and shut case.
I know, but it says, technically speaking, I guess there's like a set number that you have to define a cluster in order for it to be researched properly.
Yeah.
So it didn't qualify, so it's not been really like researched. And then And he says he's been down that road of trying to figure out like how he got it, but you have to like abandon that after a minute because you can drive yourself nuts.
Right.
But
you want to focus on the cause of the cure.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
he's done that.
Can't go back.
And he focuses on the cure. Like he really, what I notice in him is he's created meaning from his life.
Oh, I like that. And you're right. Right. And I'm sure that does, sustain him.
Yeah.
The other thing I didn't know was that you don't really die from Parkinson's. You die with Parkinson's. And usually you die from falling or aspirating food and things like that, where it's just like a symptom causes an injury.
Oh my gosh, which would constantly keep you in a state of panic and worry.
Yeah.
And like, because you have to, like, it's more like hypervigilance. You have to be very aware and like that takes away, when you're thinking whenever you chew your food, is this going to be the bite where I choke and die? You don't really get to enjoy food in the same way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Something else, you're being hypervigilant about something else that's going on. That's hard.
Yeah. I look forward to the film, though. In the clip I saw, from a distance, you see him falling on, like, it looked like the street of New York, and a street of New York. And a woman was passing by and she was like, went to help him. And he's like, I'm okay. I'm okay. And then she realizes it's Michael J. Fox, and that would be a weird moment, right? And she was like, nice to meet you. And he goes, you too. You swept me off my feet. And I was just like, even in that moment, he's being so cool and generous.
That is really like we have such a choice to, like, have acceptance and gratitude,
positive attitude,
and positive,
yeah.
And it might be, it is difficult and trying and hard to do, but the alternative is worse.
Mm-hmm.
So you do that.
Yeah. Even if it's like a trick in your head.
It is a trick.
You gotta trick yourself,
yes.
Right?
Yes, we're doing that.
What else are you going to do?
Because what else?
Be miserable? No thanks.
Right.
Well, speaking of medical stuff and healthcare, we have a partner called LifeMD, which we've been raving about because
love this.
Everybody knows how annoying the healthcare system is.
It's the worst. I actually don't know a person. I was recently complaining about stuff with a former healthcare provider, and as I was complaining about it, a friend of mine was like, oh my God, the amount of times I've heard the same thing, similar thing happened to me, the amount of times I've heard people complain about this. Every single person has a story that they're frustrated with.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to bring this up and have people be like, what? My experience has been amazing. That's never going to happen. So I think
we need all the help we can get. Yes.
LifeMD is an app and a service that allows you to get health care quickly, easily, affordably, which we all want. They have, 5-star certified physicians, and then you can meet with them very quickly, which if you are like me and have been waiting to get a physical for freaking 2 years, then you will understand why that is amazing. It's a patient platform and an app. They make it super easy. All you have to do is select your symptoms, pick your preferred doctor, and LifeMD does the rest. Visit lifemd.com/braincandy now or download their app and see why LifeMD is America's trusted telehealth leader. That's lifemd.com/braincandy to experience healthcare the way it should be. I love that.
Yes.
Options.
And telehealth is the freaking best.
I know. What are we waiting for?
I know. I had like a rash on my arm and they're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. And then a cream down, like at my pharmacy in 2 seconds. I was like, oh.
We could have been doing.
I didn't leave the couch, and I also did it so early in the morning too, where I'm like, "There's no way." But yep, there you go.
Wow,
it was the best.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, I love Michael J. Fox. He's awesome and such an inspiration. We have a mystery that I know Sarah's going to enjoy. If you haven't already heard about it.
What?
Cows are showing up dead with their tongues missing.
Stop it.
Sarah loves this stuff.
No, this is somebody doing this.
Okay, well, let me read you the story and then you tell me.
Oh, no.
Because this was the first time where I was like, well, that's obviously aliens. For real.
Oh my God. I'm freaking out. Tell me. I can't. Okay. The microphone is registering I'm being too loud. I'm trying to control myself.
Did it actually give you a warning?
No, but it's like red.
Okay, this was in the New York Times. 6 cattle found dead in Texas with their tongues missing. There was no evidence of a struggle, footprints, or tire tracks where the animals were found, and the grass around the carcasses was undisturbed. Okay. What is happening? Okay, the office did not say when the cow was discovered, but said a straight, clean cut with apparent precision had been made to remove the hide around its mouth on one side. The meat under the removed hide was untouched, and the cow's tongue was gone with no blood spilled.
What? Susie, this is motherfucking aliens. This is how they're doing it, huh? This is how they're whoever they is. This is how they're going to slow roll us out aliens, huh? First with the cow.
So. Because
that is very stereotypical. I can't. I need to look. Okay. I can't. I'm having
She's glitching.
A reaction.
Okay. So the ranchers also reported that no predators or birds would scavenge.
Is my algorithm just...
I know.
Does it know nothing?
I know.
Are you not listening to me? I open the news, I look for stories, and it didn't once think, hey, Sarah, just so you know, cows... Okay,
I know. It's like almost an insult.
I mean,
on 2 of the 5 cows, a circular cut was made removing the anus and the external genitalia as well. And the circular cut was made with the same precision as the cuts noted around the jaw lines of each cow. And similar deaths have been...
I'm actually going to throw up.
This is
awesome.
What
is this? Yeah. What is this? If I have to, in like 500 more episodes, do like a things we got wrong about this, I'm going to be really upset or happy. I don't know. What? What do I Google?
The New York Times says cattle deaths, Texas would be a good search.
Yeah,
okay. Similar deaths have been reported across the country.
Oh.
So this is not just in Texas. There were 11 states that reported.
No, this is not good.
And it mimics something that happened in 1975, and they never solved that either.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I don't feel good.
There's no way it's anything but alien.
There's no. Can we get a sound clip of that? What? Hello.
I think this is, like you said, open and shut case.
Oh,
because what else would it be? You give me another hypothesis. I'm open. What's your theory?
In 2 instances, additional organs were taken. Oh yeah, that's the external genitalia. Yeah,
the beehole. Why would you even take a beehole? Why would you take a beehole?
Nope. And okay, the thing that's the most curious, the thing that makes me go, yeah, you're probably right, it is aliens, is that the cows did not all come from the same fucking pasture. They were taken... I
didn't know that.
It said they were taken from different places, different locations.
You're right. Yeah.
So, no, you don't just go there and be like...
Unless you have a spacecraft.
Or unless you're doing... You're like... I'm sorry. One of 2 things is happening. Either aliens are doing this, which is like... Okay, they're better than cows than me. Or it's our own, it's like internal where they're trying to make us think it's aliens and they're picking something that is the most, because all of us have that image of the cow being like sucked up from the spaceship. So is
that from a movie or something?
It's from like... I think like I think about the Far Side cartoon. Like that was always like a thing of like cows getting. It's like I don't know if you'd even call it a trope or like what do you even? I don't. It's like a symbol in the same way.
It's like a cultural symbol, yeah.
Yes, ostriches putting their head in the sand is a thing, but we have zero documented evidence of them ever doing that. It was something created by Disney, totally not even real. They don't do that. But we all, if we think, have this visual image of them doing that. So it feels in a way like if anybody were to pick an animal to make us suspect aliens, it would be the animal that we already associate with alien abduction.
What would be their end game, though? The government or whoever. The inside job. Like who, what would be the point?
A conspiracy theorist would say that there would be a alien spacecraft appear in the sky, but it's really like a way to gain control of people through fear. Because fear is a very good tool to control the masses.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's one of the possibilities then.
Yeah. Well, and I remember in our beginning episodes of the podcast, we had my mom come on and she said something about, like we were talking about psychic stuff, and she said the next event would be she called it like an aerial, like basically like a display of either like aliens are coming, something in the sky, like something is going celestial to be, event. Like something like that, a celestial event or something like that. It was like something like that, where it was either like an image, like a hologram appears in the sky or something, where it was like something that would get the masses to be like, okay, I'll follow whatever you want me to do. I don't know. Some people say surrender your weapon. This is not me saying this. This is conspiracy theorists saying this. But you explain to me the cow's buttholes.
Whenever Sarah says conspiracy theorists, it sounds like she's doing that thing where you refer to yourself in the third person. This is not me. This is Sarah.
This is... Oh, no. I mean, I recognize the things that are within my control, the things that are not within my control, the systems in which I am a willing participant, and the lack of information I have about whatever.
Yeah.
I get it. So I know, but
thumbs up. I would
you
love
tell
to
me,
know,
Susie.
Stop saying you tell me. It's so funny.
Do I keep saying that?
And I agree. Like, you tell me what else can it be? Because there are no other explanations.
I mean,
why would you just take like tongue and beehole? Number one,
right?
And it says in 2019, authorities struggled to find answers to the discovery of at least 5 bulls that were found mutilated with their tongues missing. Why would aliens want tongues also?
Okay, but if you were a civilization that maybe had your own planet on the brink of starvation, and you needed to research how, and we're going to go in with the assumption that another planet would develop different metabolisms. Like, I don't know if I ended up talking about this on here, but I read an article that talked about the creation, basically why our lips and butthole look the same. Because,
yes, I remember. They were connected.
Okay, they were one time connected. Mm-hmm. So if you were studying the digest, like how to, like, maybe we should inhabit this planet, but how does this planet
because remember when we learned that buttholes have taste buds?
Right. Then you'd probably go for the two things that, like, this is ingestion and defecation. This is how they get food, and this is how food comes out of them. They would learn so much about, like, the metabolic processes of all of those organisms, that you'd learn about how, like, probably the atmosphere that you were in. Like, there'd be a lot of information there.
Let me ask you this. If you were in their shoes, we're the aliens, right? Would you eat alien meat? I'm not saying they're eating it. I'm just curious if you would.
I mean, not what was
would
obvious
you go like this,
as
maybe like put your tongue out and then like taste on your finger.
How hungry am I? If my planet's starving,
no, just out of curiosity, just not even.
I would eat other parts, but probably not the part that they was the mouth and the anus.
Yeah. Now who's
the rest
stupid?
of it?
Aliens.
Right. I don't think they're doing it to eat. You don't use precision cuts if you're gonna just chow down, and you take the whole thing.
That's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, I think if you put that information together, we can take a little hop, skip, and a jump to that conclusion that they would take the. I remember reading the best science fiction book in the whole entire universe. Yeah, I said universe. If you ask me, which is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and he talks about that was like one of the things that. I don't want to give it away, but in they discuss
the
importance of understanding another species
fuel.
Yeah. How do they survive? What do you do? Yeah. So much stuff goes into that.
Okay. I see your point. Okay.
Oh my God.
I think this is pretty strong evidence. At minimum, we all admit, including the New York Times, nobody knows what's going on here. So, question mark.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you what I do know about, and that is Bigger Than Beauty, which is Thrive's, we love Thrive Cosmetics, new skincare scenario. Thank you, Thrive. I am so excited. This stuff is where it's at. Hydrating gel cleanser. Yes, please.
Yes.
So, because my skin has changed. Like, since we started this show 8 long years ago, I was a young lady, and now I am less young lady. And your skin changes. It dries out. It gets weird and crepey and disgusting. And so I have needs.
Well, you inspired me just based on your use of this to start using eye stuff.
Yes.
I do need that.
Right. Well, and you're starting like early, so like you're in business. They have an eye lifting cream.
Yes.
They have the super serum, liquid brilliance super serum, and then they have the bright balance hydrating gel cleanser. I'm so excited about the cleanser because what I look for, because I wear a lot of makeup and I like to be able to wash it off and not burn my eyeballs off.
Yes.
Number one.
Because you can imagine if it's burning your eyeballs off, it's probably not so great for the pH. It's like, that's like pH imbalance. It's probably not going to be good for your skin. Yeah, a little harsh.
So, yeah, this stuff supports skin's pH balance, removes the makeup, the sunscreen, pollution, whatever the heck else is on your face, without disrupting that moisture barrier, which we read about in the book Clean, which I love. But I just love Thrive's products. I just can't tell you enough how much I love their makeup, and now I'm excited about their skincare. Simplify your routine and amplify your impact with a brand new skincare line that's bigger than beauty. Get 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/candy. That's Thrive, CAUSE, metics.com/candy for 20% off your first order. Yeah, that eye thing really slipped under the radar for me too. Like, why don't people talk about that more?
I mean, here's the thing. It's like they do, but I was like, how different can that? I'm like that person who's like, I can just use the same stuff. Nope.
It's so funny though, because you know it about your hair. Like whenever I was like, you don't use hotel shampoo, you were like, no.
Oh my God,
but it's
I would
same
never.
Concept. I know, but I always did.
I would rather die. I'm being dramatic.
I never knew that was sort of like, crap.
Yeah.
But so the face stuff is the same deal.
Yes. And
they donate to communities in need and stuff.
Right.
It's a great company. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on with our lives. Okay, the cows, we don't know. Let us know what
Oh my God. I was like, what were we talking about before? I feel like I was very worked up. Okay, right.
Okay, the next
aliens
mystery,
are here. Aliens are among us.
What? You want?
I give it 5 years.
Gosh.
Before we make contact.
For real?
That we all know about. Go ahead,
so.
write me. I don't care. Here's the thing. Like, what? We have proof of that. Like, this is not a thing that I am just saying cuckoo crazy. Like, NASA said this. Scientists say this.
That's true.
This is true. Susie is saying this. So all I'm doing is saying, how long until we're like shaking tentacles or whatever?
Yeah. Shaking tentacles. Okay. Here's another mystery. This one I truly don't know the answer to. I had seen that, quote, Australia's like, I think they called her Australia's like worst serial killer or something, might be proven not guilty. And then I saw that who she had killed were her kids, which, you know, that happens sometimes. What do they call it? Matricide. Yeah. 4 kids she had. She didn't kill them all at once, though. You know how, like, that can happen where it's just, like, one bad day and they're all dead. But this was over years. She would have a baby, it would die. She'd have a baby, it would die, blah, blah, blah. And so she's in jail. She was convicted of murdering all these kids. But now they're saying, oh, like, the daughters had a rare genetic like disorder or like genetic thing that they didn't know about that they probably died from because they were like SID style deaths, right? So I was like, holy heck, this lady went to jail. Yeah. And it was just like her. That's
Could you
everyone's
imagine
worst
you're
nightmare.
like mourning the death of all your babies, you didn't do it, and then you get and you already feel like I must have done something, it's my fault, and personalize it, and then you go to jail for it, which then God, that is a nightmare.
But then the more I read about it, then I was on an emotional roller coaster because I was where you are, where I'm like, oh my gosh, that'd be horrible. And then it was like reading her life story. Her dad killed her mom when she was 18 months old, right? So now we're back where we were, where it's like, trouble's brewing there, right?
Yeah.
And so let me give you some more details. So the first one, like I said, was SIDS. Or, you know, they thought it was SIDS. Then the second one happened, and it was similar. Like, very young baby. They called it cardiopulmonary, or no, that's CPR. They I forget what they called what he died from. But that was, they said seizures. Okay, so that's number 2. Okay. He had a seizure and died. Now we're at number 3, and I don't know how the heck she died. And then number 4. Okay. But like, so they're saying, well, those girls had this genetic thing. Well, she had 2 boys too, and they didn't have it. How'd they die then? But there's no physical evidence that she killed any of them.
Yeah. Well,
but she did in her diary.
Uh-oh.
This is the thing. I'm laughing because I'm watching you take the journey that I took, being like, she did it. She didn't do it. She did it. You know,
okay.
Where she took responsibility for their deaths. But then her defense team was like, that's how any mom would feel.
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm saying about like,
yes,
you're going to feel like it's your fault. Like,
I could have done something different.
Who hasn't like had a miscarriage and been like, it's my fault. Like, that's just like what you know, if there's any kind of loss.
What could I have done differently or something?
Yes.
But so I do feel like she should be let out because there isn't enough certainty. Mm-hmm. Like the burden of proof is on the prosecution.
If is the rare genetic disorder a life-threatening one that these babies could have died from if they had it? Like that is the cause of death? Like the symptoms that they died from are related to this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think we just haven't discovered whatever disorder the sons have. Because the likelihood of that that is, I mean, Who doesn't have a relative who hasn't murdered somebody? I'm kidding.
It's like kind of true. Right. Like, God, I hope I'm not put on trial for the sins of my, family.
Right.
Or whatever.
Like,
that'd be awful.
I'm just saying, like, this is...
You know how they say, like, the first kid's death is a tragedy. Like, the second one is...
Right.
The third one is murder. Like, at a certain point...
Yes. Yeah, but if you can look at 2 other children and say that they died of this, that this is, like, the likelihood of a serial killer, like, infanticide mother with 2 children who are terminally, like, that is... that seems like the odds of that. I feel like it's like Occam's razor
mutations. Thing. Yeah, that's okay.
Where it's like the most obvious answer is probably the correct one, where all 4 babies died of whatever this disease is that we just maybe don't know.
Sarah, but that's not a good example of Occam's razor, because most people would be like, all 4 of your kids died, you're a murderer.
Well, if 2 of them we knew died from this thing.
Well, we don't know for sure. We're saying
what's more likely? A mom, how about this? What's more likely, a mom murdering her children, or a mom that had 2 other children have 2 children that die from the same thing?
What's more likely? A mom with 4 dead babies and a murderer dad being a murderer?
Oh, fuckity fuck. Right.
You're
right. This is a terrible example. Terrible. There is no obvious and the most simplistic answer is correct, that all things being equal. No, there is not that. Nothing is equal.
You come down to, like, I want to see her in an interview. Is she cuckoo crazy, or does she seem like real nice?
100%.
Right?
Give it, and like, there should be, this feels like, can't we like connect her head to like one of those EEG, like machines that like give back, like, sense when there's like stimulation and all that kind of stuff, what areas of the brain, I think it is an EEG, and flash a bunch of pictures of like her children, other like things in front, and see what the response and what the reactions are. Like,
yeah, like see if she's normie.
Yes, I need to know.
Yeah, I hear
is that ethical? I think you should do that.
We should do one of those EEGs on my cat when she wants to eat Small's food.
Let me tell you, I told my friend, I was like, can I use this? And then I never sent you the message. So my friend Tana, shout out to Tana, she is a cat lady. This woman, when we were in grad school, was like, I don't want to hear it, guys, but I adopted another cat. We're like, you can't take another cat. So she's good. She like takes care of the cat. They're wonderful. They are very well taken care of cats. She just loves cats. And what we said, you can't, because she had like a situation where like there was bad blood, like cats didn't like each other, so she had to put one in one room and one in the other room. So these are cats that have opinions, clearly. She sent me a message that was like, oh my gosh, I used your code and I got, look at my Smalls haul. And she got it. She was like, I got all of this for $17. She's like, my cats are freaking out. And she's like, I'm freaking out at the price. She was so happy. And I took a screenshot of it. I'm like, can I post this? And she's like, of course, share it with the world.
Well, for real, because if you have cats, you will know, like, you either have the dry food scenario, the cats are like, what's this crap? Or you give them the wet food that they usually like, but it smells like hell.
Ugh.
Like the wet cat food, I told Adam, we're never doing that because it's a lifetime commitment. Then they will accept nothing else, and I would not do it. But now I got Smalls, doesn't smell.
Yeah,
it's a cat miracle.
And cats love it. And excellent price.
I keep saying, Adam, you got to film me giving these cats this food because Love was like, meow, meow. And I'm like,
I know that.
We talk. We have a whole conversation.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And besides the fact that the cat loves it and I love it, no more puke. Those cats would puke up. They puke up the dry food. That's what they do. And so I don't have to clean that up
that's
anymore.
Worth it. Just that. I mean, you're talking to a dog person
judging.
Over here.
Her dog was wearing diapers, okay?
Well,
why is she judging me? No, but
if there were food that made it so they didn't have to do that, I would switch over that.
And that's why you got to try it, okay? They have a deal for you. Here's what it is. Let me find it. Wait, I don't want to read that. Okay. High quality ingredients mean a healthier and happier life for your kitty. So head to smalls.com/braincandy and use promo code braincandy at checkout. Do both of those things. You got to do both at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
Oh my God.
That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use the code braincandy for 50% off your first order. One last time, promo code braincandy for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Smalls.com/braincandy.
Yeah. She got a bunch of stuff. I get 50% off. That's a deal of a lifetime.
It really is. And they're really great customer service. So, like, if you don't think it's going to work out, you just tell them. And they'll be like, yeah, you shouldn't pay for that. They're really, really nice team.
Nice. Love that.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know if that lady killed her kids or not.
Dude, a lot of mysteries. You're giving me so much homework.
I know.
I have to go home and, like, do a deep dive that you've already done. And you've come up... No more answers.
I know. I found this was an article, I think it was also in the New York Times, and it appealed to me because, as you know, my father was a limousine driver.
Oh, yes.
Took great pride in his commercial driver's license, CDL. And, of course, the limousine tattoo that is now, a fan favorite.
I also just want to admit that I always thought CDL stood for California driver's license, not commercial.
You thought you had one?
When it said CDL,
Sarah's necessary, like on a big rig, like, what? I have a CDL.
Stupid! This is like the Amber Alert thing all over again. Here we are. Oh, you know what? You're never too old to learn, guys. This is what we're learning today. Go on.
I love picturing you behind the wheel of a big rig, like,
California driver's
I got a CDL. Anyway, the article was about how, obviously we would all recognize this to be true, but I never thought about it, how limousines just aren't really the way they used to be. It used to be like opulent fame, wealth, a symbol of all of that. And now it's like prom and, like
porn stars.
Maybe not even because it's like weddings, proms, and like, I guess that's kind of it because everyone else gets like the SUVs or those like party buses.
Right.
The real wild people.
That's the porn star one with the pole.
I think they love those party buses with the lights, like the rainbow LED strip.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I have literally never been on one of those in my life.
I don't feel like I have either.
That is who is inviting me?
You should go on one though, I feel like.
Because in that environment, like I'm super fun to go to something like a carnival or like a amusement park with, but something that's like where like I'm a little bit over the top at places that are really like dialed like wound tight.
Homespun. Oh, I thought you meant like a carnival or like
like that, fair. Like homespun, like where bad behavior isn't expected. I am not fun in places where bad behavior is accepted because in order to be fun in those places, you have to be naughty. And like,
exactly.
And I am not that. So Vegas, no fun. Doing drugs, no fun. Party fans like that where no fun. Staying up late at your club, nope, no fun.
That's so true. Because you don't want people to get... Like, we can go out, but I'm not staying out past a certain time.
Come on.
Yeah, right.
So that's it.
It was trying to explain the descent of the limo about, like, after the 2008 financial crisis, but I don't actually think that's what it was.
What do you think?
I think it was? Uber and Lyft had a lot to do with it. Like, there's just not as much of a need for, like, a designated vehicle because you can call one anytime. And then my other explanation is ridiculous. I realize this, but I kind of stand by it, which is that like people don't like crouching down like that.
I will say,
low.
Yeah, and like you don't really.
You want to get up in the SUV, like you want to step up into it.
Yeah, I think it is the type of cars that are available for rental changed. Because what a limousine really is a hired driver in a fancy car. Mm-hmm. So I think what happened was the fancy car market expanded. And now the same people who would be your limo drivers are now your like guy who drives, the Hummer with the hot tub in the back that drives around the Las Vegas Strip.
Well, what about the guys that drive the Yukon, the blacked out window Yukon?
Yeah.
Because it was also saying that celebrities want to pull up and not be looked at.
Right.
A limo, you look who's in there.
Right.
But
yes.
If you want privacy, you just would get an SUV.
Well, this feels like any display of luxury, like when the I think,
silent luxury trend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That if you
get a limo, it's not because you're rich.
Right. It's because
rich people get something else.
Right. They'll have like the driver who like is the guy, their hired guy who they know for forever, who,
Yeah. Do you think like if my dad had lived long enough, he would like have regretted getting this symbol of like 80s wealth on his arm?
No way. Mm-hmm. No way. Not at all. And it also is like what you are providing in that situation. Like when your dad is limo driver, he is providing a classy luxury experience for a fun night where I'm sure he enjoyed being some part of that as well. Like, yeah. So I think that guy is going to be the guy who has like the bright green Hummer that you can rent now. That it's like not going to be the black SUV driver.
No,
it's going to be
He would have aspired to that, but he didn't have what it takes.
It's definitely a white Hummer. Is the modern
he didn't have the discretion for the blacked out window SUV. He was more of
he wants to be
showboat.
part of he's part of the experience. He's like,
He's Ric Flair.
Woo!
Right. He wouldn't have even probably realized that limos are tacky now. He would still think that's symbolized wealth.
Yeah.
Because you know how they say Donald Trump is the poor person's idea of a rich person?
Right. Who eats steak and, has gold toilets and shit.
A limo is like a poor person's idea of wealth.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It was always like, I remember on the Real Housewives when they would like go anywhere in the limo. It's like, guess whose husband is facing bankruptcy?
And that's how you would like kind of know a little bit?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Or your high school kid. Did I ever go into a limo on prom or I don't think I ever did. I wasn't that crowd that did that. My little brother probably did.
Did you go to prom? I forget.
I did. I went, and then I was like, one time I went like, I don't care about this. But then I really did. I went.
Do you think everyone does care? Like,
yes.
Okay.
The same way we pretend like we don't care about like Instagram posting on social media, yet we're like, oh, let's take a picture of this. Let's post this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a way to. We just do.
All right. Well, I guess I'll wrap it up. I was delighted to see that. You know how I have this thing about like last names predict or represent who you are.
Yes.
There is a name for this. And
what?
Yeah.
You waited this whole 58 minutes to tell me that's
because that's all I know.
First 5-minute material, Susie.
You're right. I really blew it.
I mean,
well, it's called.
Now we're even for what I buried the lead about off the air. Just so
that's
you know.
So true. I'm sorry. It's called aptonym, which is it's a fun word.
Aptonym, like the name is apt. Yeah. It's apt. He's aptly appropriate. Aptly named.
Yes, like Anthony Weiner, for example.
I'll never forget the guy who had like the last name like Robin, and he like saved a little bird, like took a little bird to the hospital one time, and like he was like drunk at a party, like got a bird at Uber. Like,
oh yeah, I remember the Uber.
It was so cute. So cute. Can you imagine opening the hospital doors and just seeing a little bird who I imagine like uses his wings to just like tap his seatbelt and be like, tucked in.
That's adorable.
You know?
Oh,
that's what he would do.
Okay, wait. One more thing is we received a review. I should have pulled it up to read it, but it was 5 stars again, which I am so thankful for, but yet.
Why do we have to end every episode with a complaint? This is our complaint. So what? We swapped out the wine down for wine Sarah up with a negative review? What is this?
Well, I'm just glad it's 5 stars. Thank you.
We'll take it. Basically, we are open to constructive criticism if it comes with 5 stars.
Yeah, if it comes with a reward. Well, this person, disagreed with my recent opinion declaration about how, like, I feel like the punishment didn't fit the crime for Roseanne. That, like, I thought her tweet was gross and poor taste, but, like, I don't really think she should have lost her whole show for it. And this person was saying, like, well, I'm a person of color, and so maybe you don't understand. Like, it's serious, and it did fit the crime, whatever. And I would like you to know, here's the good news about me. As a gal who is, like, open-minded to a fault,
yeah,
that opinion will probably change next week. Like, anytime you're like, you know what, I really don't like Susie's opinion, you should know. Don't get invested because I can see both sides is the problem.
Always. It's a great thing. It's a wonderful quality.
Yeah. So I understand, like, I sometimes shoot from the hip and I'll say, like, things. Sometimes it is meant to get the audience thinking or animated in that way, but it's not meant to be antagonistic. I just wanted to have a conversation. Like, is it fair? Should she have lost it? Now, if she had said the N-word, that'd be different. But this tweet was sort of like weird, and I wasn't even sure what she meant. So if you interpreted it one way, I see what you're saying. But if you think she really was just on Ambien and she sort of has
I don't even know what the tweet said. So
it was directed at a specific politician, and she referred to the person and said something about Planet of the Apes. And it turned out that this person was a woman of color, but
don't like that, right?
Admittedly, this person is a light-skinned woman who Roseanne said she didn't even know she was black. Who knows? I have no clue. Roseanne doesn't have any clue.
That is not but I will say that the I didn't know she was black is not the argument or the answer for that.
No. She handled it terribly afterwards. And if it wasn't that tweet, it probably would have been another one.
Yeah, that kind of feels like it. Yeah.
I just wanted to have the conversation about, like, what are we doing?
Right.
Where, like, we're not allowed to talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like that. We're like, what are we allowed to make jokes about? Or that wasn't a joke, but I keep having these conversations about, like, is everything off limits? Is nothing off limits?
And basically it's like everything, certain things are off limits if you have a contract with a major network.
And they are going to make money or lose money. That's all this is about.
That's 100% it.
This isn't about morality. They're just weighing which is costlier.
Right.
So it doesn't even matter what my opinion is. And frankly, like I said, I could see both sides.
Yeah. We're flexible.
But thank you for your feedback. I do always think about it and consider it. And like I said, probably will change my mind.
I love that about you.
Thanks. But it is, like, not great in other ways. Like, it's nice to be steadfast sometimes. Anyway, I guess we're not winding down.
Yeah, on things
it was nice talking to you.
I can go on and on about that, but it's good to be flexible. It's very good. I
just don't know how you never get into trouble, because you are a loose cannon. Like, you are so uncensored, but you never say the offensive thing. I always do.
Well, because I do sometimes. I remember the one tweet that I put up so long ago had something to do with Alzheimer's, and it was right after my own like I had like a grandparent diagnosed with it, and people did not like a joke I made. And it was, but it was like...
Do you remember the joke? Just what was the gist? The gist was like, you forget.
My gist was something about remembering or not remembering a joke. Which is why when you said that, I made the look, and I was like, You want to finish it, Susie? You can. It's not even like I've invented the joke. Like, it was
do you
like,
remember the joke?
Right.
About
that's
memories?
It. It's like that. It was something. I mean, that's it. And it also is like one of my biggest fears and nightmares. So it's probably like projection and blah, blah, blah.
You probably are far more careful now though, because you have like a real job and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm as careful as much as I am like, no,
I'm just thoughtful, Suze.
I was going to say like compassion and empathetic.
I'm just a civilized, mature woman.
Yeah.
Thinks before she speaks.
I think I see sometimes give people too much credit where my own therapist said this to me before. She was like, Sarah, sometimes people are just assholes who cut you off. Because I was saying like, I don't know.
You make excuses
I could
for
be,
people.
yes. I'm like that person who cut me off in traffic, maybe, and like gave me the finger. Maybe they were having a bad day, and maybe they were like, "It's not my." And I'm like overly accommodating to another person. She's like, "No, sometimes people are just fucking assholes." It's like, okay, noted.
Okay. Well, I guess in this story, I'm the asshole. Like I'm the one that your therapist would be like, you know what, Susie? Sometimes she's just an asshole, and that's true.
And sometimes we can be assholes because we're humans.
But then I say, so sorry.
I can be an asshole. I'm an ass. Here's what I do. I'm only an asshole to people who I think are being assholes to other people.
Exactly.
Like that guy at the fucking stupid sign in Moab who was doing his mansplaining to me. Meanwhile, like his little white buddy on the sign was not the first person to discover this area.
Yeah.
And so he's being an asshole and ignorant to other people. And so that is what makes me feel like I now have free reign as soon as that guy, and the worst is like I'm a chicken, so I won't say it to his face. As soon as he leaves, I would turn around and I'll be like, oh, you know what I should have said that? I told Eli, I was like, you know what I should have said to him? I should have said, like, I said that 2 seconds after I turned around. And Eli had to hear that whole like monologue that I gave.
Yes, you're onto something, because if someone listens to the show and messages me and says like, Suze, I was so bummed out and here's why, and like you kind of hurt my feelings or whatever, I will feel terrible. I apologize. If someone, you know, has a different approach where like, fuck you, I hate you, you know, then I'm like, I double down.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter sort of how someone shares their feelings.
How somebody shares it and who they're defending with their, or who the side.
But I mean, it is remarkable how rarely you say something offensive on here. What is the secret? I'm like mad now.
No, see, you get to choose. You get to say dumb shit or offensive shit. I say dumb shit.
All right, I guess you take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
Take them both, and there you have. Facts of life. All right, we'll see you next time. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.